Hi guys, in today's video we're talking about what impact a falling pound has, the winners and the losers. It's going to affect different people and different businesses in different ways. First, the context. The pound to dollar rate is at the lowest since 1985. That was 1 hour ago. It's fallen loads. £1 now buys only $1.14, which is super low. I remember only a few years ago, I don't know when it was, 5, 6, 7 years, I don't know, but it used to be £1 for 160, and now it's one for 1.14. It's low. So why does it keep falling? I'm going to give you the journalist's perspective. This is not my perspective. Stay tuned, keep watching. I'll show how it will affect every type of investment, or most common types of investments. Firstly, though, the macro view from the Independent Online. It's going to make importing things such as food more expensive. It's going to make fuel more expensive. It's, when you go on holiday, you won't be able to spend as much because it affects, the price of things for your pounds. It's going to push up inflation. It's going to make imports more expensive. It's going to push up the cost for businesses, etc. Anyone on a fixed income like pensioners, and people that haven't had pay rises, it affects them because of inflation. The purchasing power will really impact them. International businesses will do well for, and people that have a portion of income in different currencies, when they convert it back, it will help. Now let's look at my view. For investing, I'm going to look at equities, vanilla buy-to-let, HMO investing for properties, and holiday lets and service accommodation. It's going to cover most things. I'm not going to cover cryptos in this video. In terms of equities, which is just stock market investing, UK-based companies with overseas clients might benefit. They're selling in pounds, or dollars, but probably pounds, and companies that are buying products or services from UK customers are going to find it cheaper to be able to purchase these, which is going to increase the revenue of people that are selling to companies that are selling to international buyers, whether that's individuals, B2C, or whether they're selling them to B2B, to other businesses. Hotels and leisure, because this is going to impact everybody. It's going to impact people that are coming to the UK on holiday, potentially, or any other country in the world that has British pounds. I think there's probably a few. If you know, let us know in the comment section below. Hotels and leisure are going to be the most commonly affected, I think, because people are going to find it, whatever it is, 10%, 20%, 30% cheaper compared to when they previously came to the UK. Their earnings might have increased, but the cost of coming, the cost of accommodation, everything like that is going to be cheaper. So I think hotels and leisure brands are going to have increased earnings if the pound remains low. Exporters of products and services, I've already mentioned this, but if you're Dyson, for example, or companies like that, they're producing UK manufactured products, the cost of manufacturing may increase slightly, but the demand for their products, the sales of their products globally will increase, because one input, i.e. the value of the pound, that's one input, right? It's going down, but globally, how many countries are there? Hundreds of countries, right? And that could increase demands for all of these countries, all of them. That demand for a company that's selling or exporting products and services abroad could really increase their profits. Next, buy-to-let properties, vanilla buy-to-lets like a single family home, or you're renting out an apartment. International buyers could be attracted. So, for landlords, that could increase competition. International tenants can afford more. That's good. That means that you might be able to go above the market rate for your local area and try and get an international tenant in who will be able to afford more. What about buying homes? If you're looking to buy homes abroad, you might find it more expensive. If you're buying it when it was £1 for $1.60, it's going to be almost 50% more expensive than when you bought at that period. Even if you bought last year or 2 or 3 years ago, you're going to find it more expensive. HMOs, houses of multiple application, when you're renting out by the room, there might be more international buyers potentially if HMOs have spread abroad, or indeed if you've got British investors living in Spain, Portugal, and other countries, they might find it more appealing because their money goes further and there's more demand, etc. International tenants can afford more rates, more rent, so there might be an increase in rents potentially. That's good news for HMO investors. And the demand for rooms might increase. So the time it takes to let out a room, particularly in HMO areas that have international demands, like London, Oxford, Cambridge, maybe some of the other cities, Manchester, etc., Liverpool potentially. They have the football connection, they have the historic connection with the Beatles, etc., in Liverpool, etc., etc. I think it's going to be a good news story for HMOs if you're targeting international tenants. Holiday lets and service accommodation is something I'm recently getting involved in, and it's going very well. We had the biggest bit of income come in today, and it was from somebody abroad. So how is it going to affect holiday lets? International purchases become more expensive. So if you're buying holiday lets abroad, it's going to cost you more. You'll be able to buy less with the same amount of pounds, which works out affordability going down. International interest could increase. This is what I was mentioning earlier about on the business side. If you own your own Airbnb, or you're renting out a room, you might find that you have more internationals showing up on your door, knocking and showing they have interest in your property. And that's happened to us today. We had the biggest revenue increase on a room basis I've ever seen. And I was thinking, how is this possible that somebody's paid this amount to rent a room? And I think it might be related to the decrease in the pound, potentially. And because of this, demand might increase and rates might increase across the board. Because when you come to the UK, you've got your property, whether it's in London, Oxford, Birmingham, wherever it is, you've got your property, but there's all these people globally that have just noticed that it's become a lot more affordable for them to actually come to the UK. That means there could be a huge increase in demand, and that means that the return on investment for holiday lets and service accommodation, that could increase. And I've got some impacts here. Bad for most firms if we're thinking about equities. I invest heavily into Catebox and Tortilla. Those input costs are going to go up. It's annoying and unfortunate. Inflation is going to increase those costs for those companies. However, international B2C firms, hotel firms, for example, for those that sell abroad, like the Dysons of this world, they'll benefit 100%. What about prices? I think purchasing prices in London might increase because international awareness and costs is going to go down. They're going to find out it's going to be cheaper to buy property in London. That might increase property prices potentially. Obviously, there's other prices impact on property prices at the moment in terms of interest rates going up, etc., inflation going up. So that might put a dampener on property prices, but you've got this other input factor, which is that it's now suddenly so much cheaper for people in the US to afford to buy in London, for the people in APAC or Europe to buy, the Middle East to buy in London. That might mean that they decide to buy when property prices go potentially down a little bit. So who knows what's going to happen? It's interesting. Less UK investors will be able to buy abroad. Returns for HMO landlords are going to increase. It's going to be easier to let out, especially in London and places of significant international interest, and specifically to those coming from other countries or those that have funds from other countries. So if they're living here, maybe they're a Chinese student, maybe they're an Arab family, maybe they're from America, but they're getting money from their parents or from a business abroad, they're going to have more money to spend. Holiday lets, there's going to be more demand, people can afford more, and you might be able to get much more for your money. So although the story in the news is likely to be negative because, for most people, when they want to travel abroad, etc., they're going to have less money. I think you have to think of it from an investor's perspective. How does it impact business? How does it impact property investing? How does it impact any other business you're in? And I'm getting much bigger into holiday lets. I think it's a really interesting business. I think this is only going to help it in the future. Guys, I've done videos about all sorts of things. If you're interested in investing in equities, in angel investing, actually haven't covered angel investing in this deck, but I think it would really help angel investments because a lot of angel investments are producing in the UK but selling abroad. They might be selling software as a service. That means they'll have a good impact. Or if they're selling machinery, I'm investing in robotics companies. If they're selling machinery abroad, that could help them as well. Okay, guys, if you check out my other videos, I'll have some popping up on the screen shortly. I make videos about angel investing, equities, property investment, HMOs, service accommodation. I've also got some previous videos about careers, freelancing. I freelance for WhatsApp. That's my current role. I might even do some videos about what it's like to work for Meta for WhatsApp. It is incredible. And I'll be happy to make some videos on that. If you've got any comments, questions, queries, let me know in the comment section below. How you can help this channel, you can like and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon button so you'll be notified about my next upcoming video, whether it's a macro trend, whether it's a trend in terms of angel investing or an update on an equity or the next round of exciting company. If you don't hit the bell notification icon button, you won't be notified and you might miss out. Guys, if you want to support the channel, there's other things you can do. Check out the links in the description. If you want to start investing in angel investing, websites that you can sign up for seeders, or if you want to, maybe got your own company and you want to do a raise, maybe I can help promote your company. Check out the links in the description. You can also join my community. I will have some community links in the future, maybe not right now, but in the future I will. And you might even be able to donate some money to me to support these. I do all these videos out of love and interest for free. At the moment, it would be great to monetize in some capacity in the future, but check out those links in the description. Remember that knowledge is power, especially the right kind of knowledge, and progress is everything. Guys, check out my other videos that might be related for you or helpful for you, and I'll see you guys in the next upcoming video. Take care.